On my right arm, I've got the original Nintendo Switch, and on my left arm, I've got the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is a new release and it's supposed to be an updated version of the regular version. If you're looking to pick up one of these and aren't sure which one to go for, then this video might just help you out. I'm gonna go through the major differences, the features that have been added to the OLED version of the Nintendo Switch. Hopefully by the end of this video, you can decide whichever one you wanna go for, or you can just understand what the differences are between both of these consoles. And there's not much difference, to be honest with you guys. I know most of you guys, just like me, were expecting more of a complete overhaul to create a new Nintendo Switch, maybe a 2 or a Pro. But we got an OLED version instead, which is honestly the main feature that separates the OLED version from the regular version. There's only a few differences between both of these consoles, and I don't know if that's enough to warrant an upgrade for some of you guys out there that already have the regular Switch. But if you don't have a Switch, I think it might be worth considering getting the OLED model. There's also a small price difference between both of these consoles. Okay, let's go ahead and see the key differences between both of these models. First of all, I'm going to talk about the screen. The screen is probably one of the most important parts of any handheld console, especially because you're going to be looking at it throughout the entire time you're using that console. The original Switch has a 6.2-inch LCD screen. And LCD screens are okay, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm not saying they're bad, but in comparison to OLED, which is the newest trend, it's crazy. After gaming on both consoles' display, I realized that the OLED version is a whole lot better. I'm talking almost 10 times better, at least in my opinion, and I know you guys can see that as well. The new OLED model comes with a richer display, a 7-inch OLED display, so that's a whole lot larger than 6.2 inches. So this one's got a way better display, and I'm sure you guys can notice right off the bat. The thing is, I know some of you guys might not care about the display quality. You don't really care about a larger screen. You just want a console that can actually play the games that you like to play. But if you're like me, then you'd prefer to game on an OLED display that's a lot larger. So OLED displays tend to have blacker blacks, whiter whites, more vibrant colors, as well as a higher brightness. So things look even brighter and richer, contrast, everything looks pristine, more color accuracy. Let me know down in the comment section if you care about the OLED display. The original Nintendo Switch only comes with 32 gigabytes of internal storage. So that's as much as you can store on the internal storage of the console. You can always use an SD card as well to expand storage. So this part might not even really matter because you can do it for both of them. But the OLED version has 64 gigabytes of internal storage. So that's 32 gigabytes more than the original Nintendo Switch. And most people don't really care about onboard storage, especially when you can expand it. So this part might not really matter. Honestly, I wouldn't really care because I just get an SD card and use that regardless of which console that I have. There's also the option of game cards, which are basically like game discs for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and the like. So consoles that require discs. This one uses a game card or cartridge. So I'll say the storage is certainly not a deal breaker between both of these. Another major upgrade is in the kickstand for tabletop mode. So when you're gaming in tabletop mode, you want to be able to have a stable console. You don't want your console to fall off and break. So the stand on the original Nintendo Switch is pretty small. It's thin and it's not adjustable. That is honestly not something that I would want. But the OLED model, on the other hand, has a wider and more adjustable base. So you can adjust it all the way up, all the way down, and have better tabletop gaming mode. And that way your Nintendo Switch is a lot safer and more stable while gaming in tabletop mode. So this might not be a deal breaker for some of you guys as well, but if you game in tabletop mode a lot, you should probably consider going for the OLED model or upgrading from your current model if you're experiencing issues with the stand. So that stand is thin. The last major difference between both of these consoles is in the docking station. So the docking stations are basically the same thing. The major difference between the both of them is the LAN cable input. So that port is going to allow you to use wired connection whenever you're gaming in TV mode. So when you have it docked and connected to your TV, you can have more stable internet connection when you're gaming online with friends and the likes. So if that matters to you, then you should definitely consider the OLED version because now you have better internet connection. But if you don't game online a lot or don't really care about that stuff and want to game off of Wi-Fi, then you can go ahead and grab the original Nintendo Switch or keep the one that you already have, because I don't see a point in upgrading just based on that. Some of the buttons have also been modified a little bit, but all of the buttons remain the same. So everything else remains the same. So those are basically the major differences between the Nintendo Switch and the OLED model. There's not much difference, like I said, and if you already have one of these, I'm talking about the regular version, then upgrading might not be a smart decision unless you've been experiencing issues with one of these new features that have been added to the OLED version on your regular Nintendo Switch version. Say you're struggling with the kickstand and you want a better and more stable kickstand, then you can consider an upgrade. If you care about more onboard storage, then you can go ahead and grab the OLED version as well, or upgrade from your current version. But I don't really see the point of that one, because you can go ahead and add an SD card and just increase the storage on your current console. So it's up to you to make that decision. But for me, the biggest and main reason why I'll tell anybody to go ahead and grab the OLED model or upgrade their current console is that 7-inch OLED display. That's the main reason right there. Bigger and better screen. That's all. You're going to be staring at that screen throughout your entire time with that console, so why not have a better screen? I'd like you guys to comment down below which one of these consoles you'll be going for, or which one you already have, or which one is just your preference, even if you're not going to be getting any of them. And also, let me know if you think these upgrades on the new OLED Switch are even worth it at all, or if Nintendo should have waited till the next iteration. I'm talking the Nintendo Switch Pro or the Nintendo Switch 2 to completely overhaul the entire device. I'm talking internals, 4K video, all that cool stuff that all these new next-gen consoles are getting. Because this is not very next-gen. This is more current-gen, you know, like a different variant of the current Nintendo Switch. So, honestly, like I said, the biggest thing that should motivate anybody to grab one of these OLED versions is the screen. That's it for me, at least. Personally, that's it. Either way, I think they're both great consoles, but the Switch OLED model is definitely my pick. I would go for that, but I'm also a first-time user of the Nintendo Switch, so I'm going directly for the one that's, you know, the latest one. If you're looking to pick up one of these consoles, you can look down in the description. I'll have some links that you guys can follow to check for the best prices. Here's a universal bag and screen protector for both the Switch and the OLED model. So this works for both of them. There's a screen protector for each one, as you can see right there, as well as a protective bag. So I've got it installed on my console right here, as you can already see. The Switch fits perfectly into that bag. I've also included a link to the bag and screen protector combo down in the description below. I need you guys to go ahead and comment Switch OLED down in the description below if you made it to this point of the video. But that's all I've got for you guys in this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you already know what to do, man. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. It's Midas, and I'm out, y'all.